categories as well, both regional and worldwide. And also, if that's not enough, EuroLeague games and leagues and games from leagues around the world. My broadcast partner, Coach Mark Clark, you will hear his voice throughout that coverage. He had the pleasure of watching this Filipino team play during the recent Asia Cup, in which they finished second. And you've seen games from literally just about all over the world, Mark.
Well, the great thing about that platform is you can get access to basketball all around the world. You get the Liga Sudamericana, the South American Men's League, all that stuff. And if you're a basketball fan, it's the only place you can see all those leagues.
And we were saying that you should not be surprised by the Philippines. They just really finally got their resources and focus together. The talent was there. You can see that talent on live basketball TV.
Yep, you can see it on live basketball TV. It's not. It's great value as well. I mean, I think it's what I think you've said. It's about $10, whatever, for this World Cup. It's we see an interesting picture. Coach Amos and Barrera.
If I were Mark Holmes, I think we need your best to win this game.
Yeah.
And that means your behavior and your performance. And we just got word, strangely enough, that after being cleared 48 hours ago after an MRI in a Sevilla hospital and being told simply that he should try to play day to day if he feels like it, that today, after being stretched and warm up in the locker room before the game, Carlos Arroyo went back to the hospital to have some sort of MRI or some sort of X-ray.
He's back in the building.
He is back in the building like Elvis. And now it remains to be seen if he's actually going to join his teammates at the end of the Puerto Rican bench. Now Barrera instructing his teammates.
So the thing is, you talked about it in commentary as well at the defensive end. Every team that they've lost in their that they've lost to has scored field goal percentage-wise, 53, 54% as we see Carlos Arroyo.
Yeah, making an entrance finally, limping. Carlos Arroyo in uniform, interestingly enough. He could have simply chosen like A.D. Vasallo to wear a gray shirt, but he's fully uniformed. That will be interesting. He is limping, though. I don't expect him to play as he finally joins his teammates for the start of the second half. There he is.
Limping quite heavily. We've got a shot of him sitting down there, but limping quite heavily. If he comes in the game, he's always going to help, because he won't come in if he's not fit. He's going to help if he comes into the game.
And he didn't warm up. No. So I do not expect him back in as we get ready for the second half.
So Coach Olmos should have spoken about how they're going to not let this team score 53%. That gives them a chance to win. If they score the same percentage, Philippines get a win here.
No change in the lineup except for Ramon Clemente, who starts for Bachman. That's an interesting change. Rebounded by Franklin.
It's a poor finish because whatever they agreed about in the help, it looked like Barrera got the right call. I'm going to come from the low side to help. Then no one moved and rotated, and to be quite honest, that's Castro should have just laid it in and scored.
Why is Bachman not starting for Puerto Rico? As you see Barrera crash against Castro, and Castro is called for the foul.
Well, Sanchez went the whole 20, and maybe he could assert himself a bit more. Maybe Portman's Achilles is hurting more than it is. But I saw no reason not to start him at all.
Maybe those missed rotations are being enforced here, being somewhat addressed. We're speculating. We don't know. It could be that he's hurt. Huertas all the way in. No good.
Well, just the presence of Andre.
Travel.
Just the presence of Andre Blatch caused the missed shot, because you can see Huertas waiting for him to come and block, and he didn't. He just went for the defensive glass.
Blatch with, I believe, his third turnover, 2 bad passes, and now the travel. He averages 4.7 in a 40-minute game. But he does have the freedom to do things that he would never do in any other league he's played. Offensive foul by Sanchez. Great pickup by Blatch.
And they're trying to claim he was in the circle. He wasn't. He was on the edge of it. So Andre Blatch, the great athlete he is for all those younger players watching this game, has ended up in situations where he's taken a charge, hasn't tried to block and change his shot. He does all the right fundamental things.
Pressure off the turnover as Casper brings it in with that left knee that he banked up in the first half. Ricky Sanchez rotated. Here comes Tenorio. Stripped it. Foul as well. Puerto Rico with a fairly undersized lineup, but so is really the Philippines.
Well, they've both gone, the Philippines, it's their sort of line and their sort of time. They've got Norwood in the game, which they have got Norwood in the game, but that's their sort of regular type of lineup. But there was some organisation to the rotation then, in terms of who rotated there. They might have done it a little bit slow at times. It looks like it's the first time they've ever done it, which obviously it isn't. But, you know, something's happened in that locker room. They've used that halftime break to make an adjustment.
4 to shoot. Behind the back. Blatch makes an extra pass. Picked up by Clemente. Great effort to just pick up the ball. Don't even let it go out of bounds. Barea drives. Loses it. Great play by Tenorio. The contact and then the strip. He is giving up about 12 centimeters. Clemente's beautiful bounce pass and the score. Yocampo with the assist.
This is very interesting from Andre Blatch. He's almost, at this stage in the game,
a decoy,
making things happen for everybody else. He's almost forgetting his own offense. And the extra pass again, dividends for Philippines.
Ricky Sanchez drives again. Contact with Blatch. Just out of bounds. No foul. Not a contact, no foul.
Might see it again. You getting a chance to?
He was inside the semi.
Yeah, there was contact. It wasn't a flop.
And Ricky just passed the ball.
Yeah. Could have stopped, gone over and taken a little jump shot. Hasn't he worked out that Blatch is trying to stay in the game here and stay clean? He's not going to try and block that and get a foul at the moment.
They hound Castro, get the ball out of his hands. Norwood's open for the three. In and out. The rebound on the hands of Tenorio. A floater and no good. It rolled around the basket. Here comes Barea. Boy, did they avoid a shot here. All the way in. It's in.
That's better commitment to the break as well, because Barea came back down the floor. Lanes were filled to the defensive side. Then again, they should have realized Barea was going to shoot it most times in that scenario and tried to stop the ball early.
5-point game. Barea has 20. I'm sorry, he has 16 in 20 minutes. Here comes Blatch. Nice. Beautiful touch against the backboard.
Well, Huertas forgot what the rotation was. He should have been there before Blatch actually went to the baseline side.
Huertas aims a three. Yes, sir. Now Puerto Rico gets closer. They're down 4. Putting a little pressure off the inbound now consistently. And making the Philippines go deeper into the possession. Foul by Clemente, tussling with Blatch. He told me before the game, it's the knee, it's not the thigh.
And I was going to say that Clemente, when the ball was at the foul line extended at the 45-degree angle to try and feed the post, Clemente did a great job. Came over the top. He didn't need to wrestle him to the floor when the ball had already been started to be reversed.
He's from Queens, and for those of you who recognize the last name, of course, he's got now 4 fouls, though. He is a distant relative of the great late Puerto Rican baseball star Roberto Clemente. A strip by Huertas. Here comes Barea against Castro, and it's good. Smart play by Castro not to go for the foul. Blatch. In and out. Yocampo drives all around Ricky Sanchez. 10 to shoot. Castro all the way in. Loses the ball, and he's fouled by Franklin.
When is Puerto Rico going to understand this? When they play defense, and Huertas got his hands to a pass. Someone else got the possession before. They got points in transition. They can. This is the frustrating thing if you're Paco Alba. His team can play defense. Get a steal here. They've got 4 guys running. Sanchez realizes he doesn't need to go. Barrera gets the score on those. He had it before. Just do what works. Don't just rely on outscoring this team, because I don't think they will. And again, that last possession, he got broken down 2 or 3 times. Just gave up the shot at the ring.
I think they're lucky, Puerto Rico is, that the Philippines is only 4 of 16 from behind the arc.
Yep.
This could be a bigger lead after the free throws, though. It's a 4-point lead. About 6:10 to go in the 3rd quarter. Mark Clark, Alvaro Martin joining you for the 2014 FIBA Basketball World Cup. You're right here in Sevilla. This is Group B action, day 4, game 1. 8 to shoot. Huerta drives, pops, changes hands, and what a putback by Franklin.
Effort plays. If they can match their talent with the effort plays, they have a chance here.
A little pressure again by Puerto Rico. It's kind of making the Philippines work deeper into the possession.
Well, this smaller lineup is being much more active.
Flats, the fake, the drive, the double team. Oh, they've got Tenorio all alone. Castro goes for the rim. Rebounded by Clemente.
Much better defensive series by Puerto Rico.
That's his 3rd rebound. He's got 4 fouls, though, as we see some substitutions coming in for the Philippines. High screen, Barea against Blatch. A hesitation. No good. Rebounded by Tenorio. Luis Alfred L.A. Tenorio. Foul by Barea.
Well, if you'd have said for the first time since the start of the game they got a chance to, first 12 minutes of the game they got a chance to tie or lead, and they get a Barrera layup, that would have been great. What a great decision. He blows the layup. But just down that defensive end, a little bit more rotation, more activity, more intensity up the floor, and they take them out of what they want to run, as opposed to giving them the easy penetration and the sharing of the ball.
Barea was not complaining this time. He was just lamenting the fact that he missed a shot at the rim. He quickly raised his hand for a change.
And you can't, as I say, effort is also infectious. So Franklin and Clemente, even though he's in foul trouble with him, and Huertas, much more active, more pressure, more rotation. And it's harder for the Philippines to get the open looks. They get success off of it. That breeds more confidence in their defense.
In grade 6, Tenorio played a nationally televised exhibition game. His team faced the Ateneo grade school small basketeers and scored 31 points in 21 minutes. As you see, Huertas missed a long 3.
Well, L.A. Tenorio hadn't got back because he got a bit of a bang from Barrera. Huertas threw up a 3 with a wide open inside option.
They're double teaming Barrera. Anybody but Barrera right now. Sanchez all the way in, blocked and fouled by Blatch. Blatch is facing the Philippine Tribune, the fans.
Well, everybody, both sets of coaches and players not completely happy with the officiating at the moment. I see nothing wrong with it. That's a good call. Contact on the body, even though the check was clean. That's a foul.
Ricky Sanchez was a teammate of, as we see the disappointment, and
that's the referee's critic.
We're seeing Philippine democracy at work.
She's involved in the assessment of referees after the game. It's a good call.
Celebrating the win. Ricky Sanchez was Peter John Ramos's teammate in high school. They had 2 7-footers, 2 2-meter-13 players in high school in Puerto Rico as teammates. Of course, that team won a lot. And the head coach of that team is now the 3rd assistant for Puerto Rico, Leo Aril. Pass, transition by Lee.
They're giving up a layup after a made 3 from.
And that is going to be Clemente's 5th foul. 2 shots for Paul Lee. He was brilliant while he lasted.
Well, there are certain things that are on that unforgivable list. Making your second free throw and being exposed on a layup down the far end is one of those.
And the substitution is not Santiago. They need something a little bit more nimble here, as we see a foul by Clemente, searching, looking for that rebound off Lee. Foul him in the act of shooting, so it'll be 2 shots for him. Clemente leaves with 2 points, 2 rebounds, and those 5 fouls. 4-point game, 4:26 to go.
He definitely knows where the basket is, doesn't he, Paul Lee?
Double team Barrea from the moment the ball's inbound. This is what Mexico did in Central Basket that was so effective against Barrea. Sanchez. 5 to shoot. Over the board, Brian Diaz facing the basket. Rebounded by Franklin. Diaz has the ball. A little out of sorts, Puerto Rico. The spacing is not quite right. Huerta trying to break down Blatch. Diaz under the basket. He's fouled by Paul Lee.
Well, I was going to say, with Blatch guarding you, he's quick enough to move his feet. And the youngster Diaz stepped in, throw it in there. He only had Paul Lee, and in the end, he had to go and contest the rebound, picked up the rebound, and got fouled in that scenario.
Non-shooting foul.
Yep.
Huertas flares for the ball. Ricky top of the key.
Zone out of bounds for Philippines.
A three by Ricky Sanchez. The hustle again by Diaz and Franklin for a rebound. Barea launches his three. No good. Look at that jump by Franklin, but it's in the hands of Lee.
Oh, they missed an open look down the floor. Pingris just took off like he was like a deer running the floor. He was gone.
Sanchez with a foul, his second. And there is now a timeout. Puerto Rico is closing the ground, closing the deficit. They now are behind by 5 to the Philippines. 10 teams will meet in Monterrey, Mexico in 2015. The U.S. may have to be there if they lose the game for the final, or they can win this tournament here in Spain, this 2014 Basketball World Cup. And I'm sure that every other federation is wishing that the U.S. well, especially the ones who are not here. And maybe the rest of the organizers in Monterrey must be thinking, please, someone upset the U.S. on the way to the final, or maybe at the finals, so we can get the U.S. to play in Monterrey.
On the wing, let the ball there.
Well, they're in the traction wherever they play.
Just be aware of
Puerto Rico don't have a lot of Franklin for here. 3 offensive rebounds in this third quarter. Down the other end, he played hard defensively more than anybody else. Alongside Clemente before he fouled out, they played with that much more activity both ends of the floor. You still want Ricky Sanchez to be more assertive. It tells you everything that the Philippines think about that. They give Pingris the job of guarding Sanchez.
He should be able to blow by him.
Yeah, and Blatch is just guarding Diaz there, which means he's filling the middle anyway. So Sanchez has got to be assertive in that scenario, where it's the post up or where it's to shoot the ball, and then he's got to go to work on the glass. You know, do it in ones with almost. Ricky said, give me 1 rebound. If he gets you 1, just give me 1 more. Just don't talk about him being a double-digit rebounder. Just get him going somehow.
Oh, he missed another free throw. The Philippines just a little off today. Again, you wonder if it's the pace. They've had it before in these Asia regional tournaments, of course. But, you know, they've expended a tremendous amount of energy here. The style of play they play is such that he makes a second one. And again, pressure. Barea will not see the ball in the Philippines and have something to say about that.
Well, the zone again. The Philippines trying to, I think they'll try and stay with us to the end of the period, trying to protect some fouls, trying to, as long as they know where Barrera is. And where he is at the moment, the guy in the zone just guards him. It's a nice little additional aspect to the zone, and other people have to score like Huertas did then.
As Huertas makes the basket, he now has 13 points. Second top scorer for Puerto Rico after Barea's 18. Here comes Flash to Norwood. Paul Lee, open 3. Short. Great box out, and they're going to foul on Pingris. Why? The second. I mean, I would have let that go. No harm, no foul, the ball bounced. I think Barea only wanted to have to box him out, make sure the ball bounced. It went out of bounds.
Possibly no need for the ball, really.
Yeah. I mean, there was contact, but it's sort of incidental.
If you're going to call out, we could be here all day shooting free throws. Interesting time here with Puerto Rico closing it to 3. It's they haven't led since like 3rd, 4th minute of the game. They're right in this now with this quicker lineup.
Huertas over to Sanchez. Ingris offers some resistance. There's a strip and another touch of the ball by Huertas. Here comes Paul Lee against Diaz. He uses the rim as his friend. 2 minutes to go. Back to a 5-point Filipino lead. Barea. No good, great defense. And here's Jorge Ryan Diaz with his left arm. Tenorio quickly up the court. Corner three, nope. Chased down by Huertas. Flash won't pass that one up. Short. Another huge above-the-rim rebound by Franklin.
Blatch wasn't quite ready to shoot it. Couldn't pass it up. He wasn't quite ready to shoot it as Barrera's fouled.
Third on Ingris.
Great moment for that in that possession, though, because when he went to the basket before Diaz got the putback, Barrera thought he was fouled, so he's lying on the floor. Franklin just pulled him up. Just pulled him up and said, let's get back. You just scored, get back. Yeah, he'll ride out. If he stays on it for long, look at him, he's like, get up. And they need him to get up. And it's great by Franklin.
Just stop the theatrics and understand where you are.
We have just scored. You might think you fouled it. Maybe it was, but we have just scored. We've got to get back.
To be 5-on-4 on the other end.
Absolutely.
Especially now that Jimmy Alapag is back on the board. Ingris will take a seat. Campo comes in for him. And now Junmar Fajardo also on the board for the Philippines.
Well, they'll try and close out the third period with Blatch on the bench.
Barea ending up entering into the last year of his contract. Public reports say that the team wanted to trade him to the Philadelphia 76ers. They took Alexei Shved instead. There is some interest by NBA teams, but they want to see if Milwaukee stretches him out. If they want to do that, or they want to keep him as Rivera's back in. So we'll see what happens with him, which team he plays for in the NBA this coming season. Alapag. Back to Paul Lee. No good again. They're not quite as sweet as they've been from behind the arc in this game.
They still get the open looks, and at some point they will score them in a bunch.
Now the Boricos can be heard as they're down one. Rivera misses. Oh! Beautiful putback by the youngster Diaz.
Well, they lead by one on the back of that putback.
Norwood against Franklin. Turnaround. Where did the Hooper work? That's the guard Alapag. Here we go. Beautiful shot by Norwood. In rhythm, no good. Another rebound by Franklin. He's collecting them today. He's got 10, I believe.
He's been the difference maker for this team in this period in particular, just by that effort on the glass.
Sanchez to Franklin. Doesn't look for his shot. 8 seconds, 16.
And nor should he look for his shot. The other guys on the floor.
Rivera with a three. It's in! He came in making 4 of 6 from behind the arc. He doesn't force his shots. He just makes them. Norwood, tough shot. No good, and that is the end of the third. Puerto Rico wins the quarter 22-13. And again, the Boricuas, outnumbered by Filipino fans, are finally showing up and so hit their team in the third.
Hold this up.
Well, there are the stats. Overall, the number still looks great, but that's 10% lower on the 2-point range and even under 20 on the 3. They're just missing shots they would normally make. A lot of that is just there's more competition around the ring. The defensive rotation was a little better in that period. There weren't many situations where Andre Blatch got an easy look. Andre Blatch himself started to just pass up things, which I don't think that's going to happen in the fourth quarter. But situations like this, where they get points in transition, really did spark that Puerto Rican third period performance. Huertas was good in his physical contribution to it, but for me, that man, Franklin on the glass, at both ends of the floor, was more active than anyone had been. And then they end up, Huertas hit that 3, and they ended up with a Rivera 3, and they really have I think your defense sparks your offense, and they've played a little bit more defense, and I think that's where it's coming from. They're getting easier shots, easier looks, and there weren't many moments like that for the Philippines where they had a chance to run in transition. But there were lots of moments like this where they outworked the Philippine defense, and Diaz gets the two. And for me, the most telling moment of the whole period was they frankly just dragged Ferreira to his feet and say, we're trying to win a game here. It's not about your foul. Get up and play defense.
Here's Ryan Diaz beating Pingris to the basket, and here's a triple by Rivera. Couple of quick notes. The Philippines went 3 for 6 from 2. But the Philippines, I believe, went 0 for 7 from 3 in the third quarter.
Didn't make a three. Absolutely didn't make a three. Alapak came in. Tenario, guys that have really been feeling it in this tournament and in this game. I mean, Tenario has 15 points, which is way above his tournament average. That was inside and outside. Well, he had 13 at the end of the half. Just couldn't get anything going at all.
Well, you know the Philippines, that typically doesn't last long. This is the fourth quarter. This is it for both teams. The loser is eliminated. It's a knockout game. It's game 1 of day 4 of the 2014 Basketball World Cup. Ricky Sanchez with a prayer against Black. Here comes Norwood. Alapak to no one in particular. Franklin outnumbered though, and he recognized it. Ryan Diaz trying to get position against Pingris. He knows he's got foul trouble on Pingris. Huertas aims, shoots. Rebounded by Rivera. Another offensive rebound.
That's infectious. As the one guy goes for the glass and shows if you're active, you get things. Rivera follows suit, gets an offensive board.
Floater. Blatch gets the rebound. He gets poked, I believe, in the face. Here comes Paul Lee. So Barrera on the bench. Let's see how this lineup works for the Islanders. Blatch inside. Turnaround. No good. Rebounded by Blatch. In and out and in.
And I was just about to say, good on the Diaz effort. Tried to play defense. Said, go on then. You know, I'm saying it was going to be a little bit easier for Blatch, but he made him miss the first one. Just got no help on the glass.
You saw Barrera taking a breather on the bench. Rivera. To Sanchez, finally, and he was right in front of the Puerto Rican bench, and they got up to pat him. They need that and more. Here comes Pingris. Doesn't even look at the rim. Blatch. Rotate. We take the three-point shooters off. Missed by Pingris, and again a little bit of defense, a little bit of life.
Challenge. The shot was challenged by Sanchez early. He didn't just see it happen. He went and helped, and then he played the next pass. Contact.
Almost went to the backcourt. 9 to shoot, and a foul by Dallas fan, by Paul Lee. And it's a sport. That's the only player for the Philippines with 4. Pingris has 3. Puerto Rico, we already saw Ramon Clement elite with 5. Everybody else has 2, 1, or none.
The smartest foul for Paul Lee. It's around the halfway line.
There.
Want Ricky Sanchez to want the ball.
Oh, here we go, behind the back. No good. Look at Franklin fight for that rebound. Stripped by Huertas, back in the hands of Puerto Rico.
Effort play again.
Where was this?
Where has it been for 3 games?
Where was this? Backs are against the wall, you know it. Had to come out at some point. Oh, what a nice move by Huertas. The floater, no good. Blackman get another rebound. That's his 11th. He already has another double-double, 19 and 11. That means he's the only player with 3 individual game performances with a double-double of any sort in this tournament.
Huertas with this foul. Everybody's back. There's no need to foul, especially as Castro's coming towards the halfway line. They're going to need fouls as this quarter develops to have in the chance that they do need to chase it, do need to pick it up. You don't want to be giving up cheap fouls in the fourth quarter.
Oh, Black going by Ricky. Corner to Alapak. 8 to shoot. Del Campo. In it. Finally. Philippines getting a 2-point shot. A long 2. It's now a 3-point game early in the fourth. Little Prince off by Puerto Rico. short. Easy rebound for Blatch. Casper's in the game with Alabama. Crossover. Inside. Oh, Rivers has lost the mouse. Oh, too hard a pass. Nice thought. The execution was a little off.
And again, it's one of those, like you asked earlier on, why not bounce it in? It was a great decision. It's almost, you almost have to drop the ball. Drop the ball and then let the guy go get it.
Big guys are just not that quick.
Yeah, it just... and that's why I don't think Charez is going to be too... He's concerned because he's in a tough game. He's back against the wall. But he's still getting good looks. He's got to believe he's going to make those looks. I think he'd like Blatch to take a little bit more on himself.
Oh, Blatch is really slapping around at Diaz. He just lost the ball. He took his eye off the ball. He wanted to see where everybody else was. By that cut in.
It's almost the thing where you dealt with Blatch. Just go score now.
Blatch against Franklin.
Well, they're lining up to help.
Diaz shows up at the end, but it's no good for him. It's good for Blatch. And now the Philippines.
It looked to me like the rule was supposed to be forced into the baseline. You let him go to the middle. Blatch has got so many more options, both to score himself and to kick to the open shooter.
Puerto Rico hanging on to a 1-point lead. Barea launches in the crease. No good. He's rushing his shot. The Philippines are really taking him out of the game.
Where was the glass? That was the first. No one went to the glass for Puerto Rico for the first time, probably since the start of the third quarter.
Another crossover and a slap and a foul by Ricky Sanchez. His first. And here's Blatch chilling. Trying to catch his breath.
I think almost has taken a time.
Big man doing this small guy stuff.
If Ricky Sanchez is going to go after it earlier. Don't foul him in that scenario as Paco almost has taken the timeout. And we're going to get a look here where the rule, it looked like they talked about a rule falls into the baseline. When he goes to the middle, he's not missing. When he's that deep, the help can't come. He's got no options.
We have had 4 straight possessions where we haven't even tried to drive, says Paco Olmos. Of course, they want to stop dribble penetration by the Philippines. Now, how's your Tagalog, Mark? How's your Tagalog? Your Tagalog.
No, it's not good.
It's a mixture of English and Tagalog that typically you hear in that Philippines huddle. Look at the biggest lead, 14 points for the Philippines. And now I think they're beginning to get in rhythm again.
See, not ironically, as you'd expect with the offensive talent that the Puerto Ricans have, scoring in this game, even when they struggled, has not been the biggest issue. Stopping this type of shot was their issue until the third quarter. And I just thought they'd sorted out their rotation, sorted out where they wanted the ball to go. As Borgman comes back in, he should be fresh.
He has not played in the second half.
Yeah, he should be fresh. This should be made for him to do what he's done all tournament. Be aggressive, be active, come up with steals.
And he has only 1 personal foul. So maybe he was a secret weapon all along, or maybe that Achilles is perhaps sorer than usual.
And the other thing is Ricky Sanchez hasn't sat for the whole game.
Blatch
ties it
at 64. Almost halfway through the fourth. Now they've got Barea and Rivera together. Let's see if they can free Barea to become a shooting guard here as he
just set some screens. Not necessarily just give him a handoff. Set him screens, get him open. Get him open on closeouts.
Inside, Franklin. Oh, tough play there for Diocampo. He fell for the fake and fell awkwardly as well. It's the kind of fall that can make players pick up some nasty injuries. But luckily, he looks to be okay.
The free throw line's a bit of a journey for Franklin, isn't it? He's not. He's about a make one, miss one guy at the moment.
In the tournament coming into this game, Franklin.
Well, there's the miss.
Has made only 1 of 4.
Yeah, Crossy sort of is pretty much across his career. He's a 50% free throw shooter. Make one, miss one. Well, he's missed one. Expecting he's going to make one.
Makes the second one.
I can't understand how guys could be the make one, miss one guy. Because the second shot there looked as smooth as you like.
Well, typically in those situations, their form, their mechanics are not steady.
Yeah.
Typically.
That's something they can correct if they just do it enough.
Rivera went for the steal. Cross court to Tenorio, who's all alone. And I think that going for the steal.
Absolutely. They were moving their feet. They were taking penetration away. They were helping. They were active.
And the Philippines takes the lead and takes the ball.
You get sloppy at one end, you get sloppy at the other.
Castro in the corner. Both teams are winless. Loser gets eliminated. They still play one more game, but they're done. Blatch. Back to Castro. Tenorio, a second to shoot. No good, in a 24-second violation. It's Puerto Rico's ball.
I mean, Baldwin does look like he's struggling. He's going to play from day one. He's just been still happy. Whether that's because he doesn't want to get into scenarios where he's got to guard people and prevent penetration. Good to see Arroyo getting in the game from the bench. Everything sort of turning around here for Puerto Rico.
Arroyo hesitation all the way to the cup. It's good. Ties the game at 67.
He just can't help himself, can he? He has to have a conversation with an official on every play. He may have been fouled. He may not have been fouled. Just get back and play defense.
Maybe he should be an attorney.
Well, perhaps.
Blatch took his eye off the ball. Saved by Castro.
Oh,
three-pointer with 7 seconds to shoot. Just like it's a layup for him. The Philippines up ahead now by 3. Pay the man.
Love him. Love the way he's just doing it for the team.
Rivera wide open. No good. Rebounded by who else? Mr. Double-Double. 14th rebound. 23 points. 25 points.
Interesting to see how much space they give him now. Whether they do let him just go to work.
Ricky Sanchez trying to do what he can. Euro step and a block by Sanchez.
Hats off to Sanchez. Hats off to him. Stayed between his player and the basket, moved his feet, and he just got a piece of Blatch.
And now it's Fingers' 4th foul, as now Gabe Norwood comes in for a substitution. He will come in, though, for Tenorio.
And they go a little bigger with that substitution, a little bit more athletic on the glass. That's the sort of size of lineup they had yesterday when Norwood started abusing people going to the glass on those dunks.
Ricky did that more often and consistently. Maybe he would have made it to the NBA, not just being traded around, his rights being traded around as they were. The ball was kicked by the Philippines, so 14 seconds to shoot anyway.
Nice option, though. Fortunately, because Baldwin going to the basket was wide open. No defensive rotation at all. No one got underneath that screen to bump it.
Bear picks up the dribble, though. And that leads into trouble. Rare bad decision by Barea. Castro asks to reset.
He'd almost wanted what he's good at is shooting that.
Ocampo thinks he's got it against Rivera. Almost loses the dribble. Castro the blur. Back to Ocampo. Ronnie-Dale misses. Rebounded by Jose Juan.
The best shot they had was the Castro one on the end of the break.
Uh-oh, he won't wait for anybody. It's good! Tie game!
Take the shots that are your shots. That's what Pereira did right there. No one was in his face. Shot the ball early. The arm was late. Opposite happened the time before. Castro trying to run the clock. They ended up with no shot coming out of that decision.
Barrea's 25 matches Blatch's 25. It's a shootout in Sevilla.
2:07 on the clock. Tied game, their future in the tournament. It's going to be tied, decided in 2:07.
And now we go back to what Chad Reyes was saying after the game a couple days ago. where he said, I've got to get better at end-of-game decisions and plays and substitutions. Well, Paco almost a rare chance to coach an end of the game.
Well, you've made great players throughout that whether up 5, up 10, down 5, down 10, the Philippines play their way. And that's the first time possibly in this tournament they haven't played their way.
I think they're tired. I think the play they play is catching up to them in this 4th day of the tournament.
But you can't play tired with 2:07 to go. Castro is he's an all-star when it comes to tournaments. That's when you make the right decisions at the sharp ends of games. If their game is to run and shoot that shot, who's to say that Blatch wouldn't have got to the glass? Who's to say that Norwood wouldn't have got to the glass? Because they're great at doing that in broken play. In the half court, unless they can break people down on the dribble, they struggle.
Arroyo gets off the bench, and the ankle feels a lot better after that 3 that tied the game in 70.
Well, it's a good decision to go up the floor with some pressure. As long as they get back, as long as they actually, if they get beat in this pressure, get back and force the Philippines into a half-court offense.
Who else is on the court now but Alapag for the Philippines? Guarded by Huertas. A strip by Buckman. There he goes. He loses the ball, though. Blatch, Euro step outside. Alapag. They reset the clock, apparently, Barea says. Alapag misses the long rebound in the hands of Diocampo.
Well, they should have reset it because it was stolen, and then Bulkman had it stolen off him. Bulkman was in possession.
Barea didn't want that reset. 14 to shoot, minute and a half to go in the 4th.
Big possession here.
Sanchez, and they're opening up room for Blatch. He goes down low. Oh, intercepted by Huertas. Bad turnover by Blatch. Bad timing.
Why? Where did that come from?
Could have gone up.
Absolutely. Would have got fouled or scored. Huge possession.
Correa is fouled by Castro.
Well, they have one foul to give.
Did that last block by Sanchez play into this? I can't think of it.
I don't think so.
I can't think of it.
I think he's been in this mode today where it's like we can share it, we can all win this together.
He's taken the bulk of the shots for the Philippines entering this game.
It's taken 25% of all their shots. And he drew a double team then, a shot against the double team that he had the angle to take it. Offensive rebound time there was a good opportunity for him.
7 seconds, Barea all the way. It's in!
It's a great decision.
A timeout by Chot Reyes. 51.8 seconds to go in the 4th. What a game to open up once again.
Yeah, he was probably fouled, but they're only just getting into the huddle because they've been talking to officials, and they're going to almost lose the timeout that Chat Reyes has called.
Anybody who enjoys the Sevilla nightlife a little bit too much is missing perhaps the best games of the tournament in the early window.
We haven't had a bad one, have we? First game has been the game to see every single night.
We had Croatia and the Philippines. Chot Reyes told us that he felt that he had overextended, overstretched, overburdened his players just to try to get that one win. Then they get another tough loss against Argentina in which they expended energy. And now they face a Puerto Rico that obviously would probably play their best game so far. They wouldn't have taken that much to play their best game so far. But they're certainly shown up today and made the effort. Not consistently, not always, but enough to give themselves a chance to win.
Well, the Philippines now, I don't like them when they take too much off the clock and they get too static. You'd like to see them take the first good one they get. Whatever they decide, whether they want something out of bounds, or whether they want to go as early as they can.
Go back to the run and gun.
This could be a 3 or a 4 possession game here, and they want it to be a 3 or 4 possession game. They have no fouls to give. Puerto Rico, if they're smart here, have 2 fouls to give. Now, if they do start getting into it, they could literally take some time out of this game and almost give themselves the chance to take the last shot. If Philippines take too much time, they could go steal a foul late in the clock and send them back to the sideline twice before the Philippines will get to the free throw line.
Tenorio in. Alapag in the corner. Huertas lost track of him. Double team.
Someone's
Rotation.
open.
Rotation. Back to the Ocampo. No good. The ball's in the hands of Rivera. And a foul on Barea by Norwood as Bachman's a little slow to get up.
Borkman was fouled, I think, on in the rebound situation. And he's going to pick himself up, and I think he's genuinely struggling.
Favoring the left leg, the left Achilles. He landed a little awkwardly. Let's see. Yeah, he really put all that weight on the left side.
It would have been much better for the Philippines if Borkman had been called and going to the free throw line. One, he's only a 60+% free throw shooter, and he's hurt.
But I mentioned to you, he's actually finished a Pan American Games being fouled by Mexico in Guadalajara, making free throws to win for Puerto Rico. He has a knack for that at the end of games. As Barea is about to give Puerto Rico a 2-possession game. Still time for the Philippines, but an important margin now for Puerto Rico.
Now, I'm sure they won't really think about this too much, but they've lost 3 close games. They've come to the brink of winning 3 games, and now they're faced with exactly the same scenario again. And as Coach Reyes said, they haven't closed out games or end the game stuff. You do begin to doubt yourself. But I'd like to see them get Blatch the ball very early and let him just go.
We're switching every screen, you heard.
They've got to switch every screen. The only guy they're going to have a problem with is Blatch, and where the switch goes for that. But if you're a small and you switch on to Blatch, you just yell for help, and they just leave the other guy open.
Paco almost, his English was good, but it's gotten better, and now it's acquiring a little New York tinge, as Franklin's from New York, and so is Bachman.
It's a good decision. It's a great statement as well, though. They've got the 2 fouls to give. So, if you feel at a real disadvantage, you can waste your foul. You can take the foul, send them back to the sideline. Don't give them a massive advantage where they can score quickly. But don't foul the 3. Don't foul a shooter.
It had to show, right? The best game for Puerto Rico is the game in which they were led by role players. Interesting, huh? Where leadership finally emerged.
Yeah, this whole game turns on the effort on the glass of Franklin in the third quarter.
And let's not forget Clemente before he fouled out.
Before he fouled out. He gave himself up for that. He just had to.
Having to guard Blatch.
They get Blatch on the sideline with a basketball.
10-second differential. Blatch. Oh, watch out. And he slapped and fouled.
That's a good foul by Rivera. That's exactly that scenario where, hey, looks like he's going. Looks like he's going to the glass.
And
foul him.
Blatch comes up a little gimpy. Yep, with that right knee.
He normally makes the next shot when he comes up limping, doesn't he?
Yes.
They're going to go the same play.
As they say in the States, he's playing possum.
Still got a foul to give, and that foul to give is key here.
There's Clemente. Tremendous effort. Always gives up.
Same play.
Size and weight. Foul.
Well, they've had to give them up relatively early, but they've given them up in exactly the scenario they were talking about.
And they've burned 10 seconds off the clock.
So they've used their fouls. I don't know if Borkman had to foul him that quickly, but he was at a real disadvantage, and he was on his way to the ring.
9-second differential between clocks.
And now they can't foul because they will send them to the line.
Alapak.
They can't spend too much time with us.
Tenorio, step back throw. Grazes the rim almost. And Puerto Rico now finally is fouled as there's a little letdown here by the Philippines on that missed shot. Ricky Sanchez huddling the team as you see the frustration of a team that is swum so hard to get to shore. So hard. Honoring their theme, Laban Pilipinas Puso. Fight Philippines heart. They've done that and more. They just don't have a win. And now Barea can truly ice this one.
Well, there's still 13-5 and he has no timeouts. He's going to have to get it, take the 3. There's a little light at the end of the tunnel, but only a very small very small speck of light, that's all. Because Puerto Rico, they could even come down here and foul. If they foul, it'll only be a 2-shot scenario.
Misses the second now.
Still a 2-possession game. A 3 here would make life interesting.
10 seconds, Tenorio. De Ocampo, back to Tenorio to the corner. Alapag! He's fouled! Stops the clock with 4.5 seconds to go. And he gets 3 shots, I believe. No, 2 shots. No, 3 finally.
3 shots.
Carlos Julio hesitated.
Referee's call was incredibly late. It was a foul, but incredibly late.
Better be right if it's late.
I'm not sure if he'd have called it if the ball had gone in, which is, I just really hate that thought. Well, if he makes 3, now Paco almost has the timeout. He can advance the ball, which makes life even more difficult
for the Philippines.
Yeah.
Makes the second one.
Yeah,
Alapag this past season.
He has another option here, misses the second, knock it out to Tenorio, make the 3.
In one of the 3 seasons, he went 100% from the line, 37 of 37. In another one of those seasons, he shot 96%. There are 3 seasons in the Philippines every year. 75-73, Puerto Rico up to 4.5 to go in the 4th.
See, the timeout scenario for Paco Olmos here, very straightforward. Get the basketball in. If you take the foul, you would like to get Barrera the basketball. After Barrera, you need Ricky Sanchez is a good free throw shooter. Any of the better free throw shooters, Sanchez or Barrera, get them the basketball. Just increase your chances of making sure you make the throws. Clemente gave himself up, sacrificed himself for the game, sacrificed the 5 fouls, and really did spark this from the third quarter. There's this bigger effort down the defensive end.
Bachman sat down the third quarter, most of the 4th has come out. And as you said, secure the ball, wait for the foul. Imagine, though, if the ball's stripped and you have a fast break opportunity by the Philippines.
And you don't really want to throw it back towards the halfway line here. If you throw it back towards the halfway line again, it just really doesn't. It just creates more of an opportunity.
Aguilar in the game to guard the inbound pass. Pingris is back. Bounce past the Ricky, and the foul by Tenorio with now 3.2 to go. Critical shots.
Well, Sanchez, 85% free throw shooting.
Well, let's see how he does in the clutch.
We've said before, stats mean nothing with 3 seconds to go in the game when your World Cup future is on the line. 3 seconds is more than enough time. If he makes the first, well, we've seen it this year.
3-guard lineup now with Castro, Alapag, and Tenorio.
I'm one of those people in there who subscribes to make your free throws, because there's been people got over cute on this during this year, where someone made the first and missed the second, and then someone threw it in from the end, almost from the full length of the court. Makes both of these instead.
They huddle up the 4 Puerto Rico players, but Sanchez, who's making the first free throw, and now makes it a long possession game, 1-possession game. Critical free throw that may well determine the game.
There's no way Ricky Sanchez will think this, but he's done this millions, thousands of times, etc. Just remember, this is how I shoot my free throws. Look at the basket, stroke it, make it.
Makes it. 4-point game. Blacks the inbound. Over to Castro. No foul by Puerto Rico. They launch a 3. The game is over. Puerto Rico gets his first win in the tournament, 77-73. And the Philippines' dream of advancing in the tournament, unfortunately, is over. What effort by the Philippines. And finally some cohesion by Puerto Rico. 77-73. Puerto Rico stays alive in the 2014 Basketball World Cup.
Well, there's the full-time stats, and we said A team scores like 50+% across the field. The Philippines haven't done that. That's why Puerto Rico win the game. They win the game because they played more defense than they've played so far. They win the game because they've done a better job on the glass. They were trailing comfortably on the rebound totals in that first half. They tied it up on the glass. Their effort from people like Clemente and Franklin in particular was the thing that was different than the games before. And it's amazing what a win like this could do for Puerto Rico going forward. They now have a win the last game, chance to go through to the second round. Their whole mentality will be different now. Barrera had 30 huge points. Sanchez went 40 minutes. You know, we've given him a hard time. We said he was due a decent game. He came up with a good one.
Puerto Rico now has to beat Senegal. I'm sorry, Puerto Rico now has to beat their last opponent in this tournament, which is Croatia, and they need help from the Greeks tonight if they have any chance of making this tournament. As Barea says hello to his father and his mother in the stands.
And while we're seeing some highlights, just look at the way this format of the FIBA Basketball World Cup works now. If Croatia lose tonight, they'll face Puerto Rico in a game that if they lose...
That they have to win.
Yeah, they could send them home. Puerto Rico could send Croatia home. We were talking about Croatia as a potential late in this tournament team. And that's the beauty of the format. These league formats is never over until day 5. It's always interesting, and Puerto Rico have just added a dimension to this tournament. Philippines, though, all I can say is I've loved watching them. I feel so sad that they have no return on 4 games for 4 great performances. They just stopped doing what Philippines did in that third, fourth quarter. They stopped that up-tempo style, and I think you're absolutely right. It's just caught up with them. The level of team they've played against, at the pace they've had to play, they just couldn't bring that today.
Tomorrow they face Senegal. I'm actually looking forward to that game as well. Any game that this team from the Philippines shows up, I'm there to watch. But tomorrow they know that it will be their last game in this tournament.
And what does that do for Senegal? Because that, whatever they do today, they could end up with the scenario of going into that game, beating the Philippines. You don't know what happens with Blatch's injuries, and they could beat. They end up 3-2. They get a performance and a win in the next game. They could end up 4-1. And after that first half against Greece, where was 4-1? That was never even going to be thought about. So like the whole equations for this group in this tournament just become absolutely fascinating. It's just like every game now for the rest of this tournament has an absolutely crucial meaning.
They all do, but because it's the end of the tournament, now you see where things take shape and incentives take place. By the way, for Puerto Rico to win, we said they need help from Greece tonight. They need to win tomorrow, and there may be some goal average considerations. They may have to win by a certain margin.
And we'll bring someone in who's got a calculator and a better mathematical grind than us.
A PhD.
Yeah, that's what we need.
As we see Barea taking the load. And I'll tell you what, if I'm Carlos Arroyo, I think that right ankle feels pretty good right now.
Now, I'm not going to be a skeptic, but I'm going to say it too. How much better does that make it feel? Does he come out? What a decision for Paco Olmos to make. These guys have done this. Is Carlos Arroyo going to be able to come back and add? Or is he going to take away as much as he brings himself? Because
should he come off the bench?
Should he come off the bench? That's a new role.
And if he doesn't play well, he doesn't play.
Exactly.
Bogman didn't play for a long stretch today.
And look what happened. So Paco Olmos, you could say, well, why not do that before? Well, it's tough. Coaching at this level, where you've got 12 players who could all play. They're all stars at club level. They come together as a national team. It's a hard coaching assignment. But, I say it again, Franklin, immense. Absolutely immense. Clemente, just bring your game, do what you can do. And
Ricky Sanchez showed up
for 40 minutes. 40 minutes against a team that runs up and down. And for periods of that, he had to guard, one of the best players in the competition so far. And it's just... It just, again, frustrates. We've said it all the time. They've been a great team.
Game 2 coming up in about an hour and a half. Please join us. We'll take a break.